What is up, Boosted Motorsports fam? Today I'm going to be updating you guys on the truck, the Ram 1500, Hell Ram, whatever the heck you want to call it. You guys probably noticed the last few videos, we haven't really said too much on it, but I'm going to get into that in today's video, what we're doing, what the plan is, and all that good stuff. So, truck is on the lift currently, not much, but it is in the air just ever so slightly. And I'm working on something right here, so let me show you what I got, what the plan is, what we're doing. Okay, so this weird, ugly contraption is my drive shaft loop, and this is the drive shaft loop that we're going to be using to hopefully pass tech inspection. For those of you guys that don't know, you can buy drive shaft loop kits, generic ones to fit anything, but a lot of them have you drill holes through the floor on the bottom of the vehicle to fasten it. Something I didn't really want to do for a couple reasons. Well, obvious reason, I didn't want to drill a hole through my floor. Second is the center of this vehicle has a huge center console. So to get at any bolt holes, I would have to remove all that crap, and I really didn't want to. So what we did was we came up with a different solution where we suspended the drive shaft loop off of the cross member that's there. So I have 4 bolts that are going to hold this drive shaft loop, and it's actually really strong because obviously I've already test fitted it. We're just giving it the final touch of black paint on it just to kind of, I don't know, make it look somewhat presentable. But anyways, it's going to have 4 bolts that go through that cross member, and that thing is solid as heck. So that's our plan for this thing, and the cross member that I'm mentioning is right there. So on that cross member, we just had to drill 4 not huge holes. It's not going to compromise any of the strength, but the nice thing too is the cross member, you can see, if I can point to it right there with my fat finger, is you can actually unbolt the cross member. So if for any reason you ever were upset by a few little holes, you could always unbolt the cross member, replace it, weld it, whatever. But honestly, I mean, the holes are only this big, so they're enough to hold this, but not enough to compromise anything. So that's pretty well it, guys. I'm going to toss this thing on, and I'm going to also tell you what the plan is for the truck and where we're at with this entire build project, what have you. All right, so it's actually the next day. There was some touch-ups that I wanted to do, and I actually added these right here. So I just kind of boxed in the ends and obviously had to paint a little bit more of it. So I just wanted to box them in so it looks a little bit more official in case anybody sticks their head under there, so that there's no question of anything. So anyways, I'm gonna jump underneath the truck, mount this thing, and show you what we got. Alright, so here's the design of this thing and when it's installed, you guys, and honestly, for the amount that I paid for this thing, this is just one of those Lakewood generic drive shaft loops, and I just made up these brackets arms right here. What I did was I mounted it to this cross member. We drilled 2 holes here, 2 holes there, and we put nuts and access the nuts through these factory holes that are already here. So it actually worked out pretty good, and this is what we've got here. It's all in the center, all good and dandy, but this thing is so freaking strong. Like, I can put my entire body weight on it right now and it's not even budging. So this thing is ridiculously sturdy, so it is not going anywhere. Only drawback I could see to this design, other than the fact that it looks kind of, I don't know, I wanted to say originally it looks homemade, but honestly it doesn't even look that bad. Nobody's really gonna look at it, but only drawback, I know it is a truck, but the bars are on the lower side of the cross member. So, but my Y pipe actually hangs lower than this bracket. So no issues there. I mean, most people's trucks aren't gonna be that low to begin with, but that would be the only potential drawback, is the fact that they're on the bottom of this. So you might lose some ground clearance, but the exhaust on my truck hangs lower than the bars anyways. So I'm gonna call this a success. It only cost me 25 bucks for this thing, or no, 20 bucks for this, and then about maybe $15 for these bars and some miscellaneous hardware. So I've only got I don't know, less than 50 bucks in this thing, to be honest. So that'll work for our purposes. Only thing with my truck is they just wanted to see a loop on the front for whatever reason, so I'm just going to satisfy the requirements of the track that I'm trying to go to. It can't be 6 inches further back than your universal joint, so that's that. But some of you guys might already know this thing has a mid shaft and it has another universal joint right there. So technically speaking, I should have one on this as well, but I am just gonna go with this. I don't think they're really gonna give me a hassle. They said they only want to see one on here, so I'm gonna give them one, and I'm not gonna go through the hassle of trying to fabricate one for that right now. We're just literally gonna go for one track day, you guys. That's the mission or the goal with this thing, is to get one track day out of the way with the setup. And this thing is honestly super sturdy. I think this might go to somebody who goes to the track quite often. I think they'll maybe I'll put it up for sale soon, because this thing, I don't know, I'm actually pretty impressed with it for what it is. It's not that bad at all, and it is ridiculously sturdy, and nobody makes one, so I'm sure somebody else will put it to good use once I'm done with it. But that is it as far as the drive shaft loop. We are completed, so hopefully the weather pans out. I'm gonna slide myself out of here, and we'll wrap this up. So I am trying to make it to the track to give it one last go. I feel like the build definitely deserves going to the track in its prime. We've gone, not that we haven't gone on the track, those of you guys have been following along, we've been going to the track quite a bit, and we've got a bunch of times with the truck, but it's just like always something has prevented us from being able to see the truck's full potential. One time was not enough fuel, so we added a fuel pump. Then we got more traction with the tires, the Hoosiers, but then the track didn't allow us to run them in the last one. And also because of wind conditions, it was too windy. So they shut the quarter mile down to an 1/8. So I just want to get one good quarter mile pass, and then we can start ripping this thing apart. And I'm excited to document the whole transition back to stock with you guys. I think it's gonna be kind of fun, at least for myself, to see something go from a low 12-second truck. Right now it's currently mid 12s, so we've set the 12.5 in the quarter mile with the truck previously. So I'm trying to get the truck low 11s, or sorry, low 12s, possibly high 11s, and then that'll be a wrap for it. But it's gonna be cool to see the transition of taking a vehicle like this, a big fat heavy truck, from something that quick all the way back to stock, and showing you guys that process. But I'll show you guys the reason why we've had such a delay at the same time too. So one of the main things that's stopping us from taking the truck to the track is the rain. It will not stop raining here. And we're supposed to be there's an open test and tune this Sunday. So if all goes well, we'll be able to take the truck to that test and tune on Sunday and set our time. And then we can start the next stage of this unmodding, if you want to call it that. But hopefully you guys keep your fingers crossed that this rain lets up so that we can go. Otherwise, we might be stuck trying to figure out an alternate plan. This weekend's one of the last test and tune days before, I don't know, the track seems to go on a bit of a hiatus for a few weeks, so I was looking at the schedule. But let's hope that the weather works out, and then we can get this thing down the track. Okay, you guys, so that's gonna wrap it up. It looks like we should be ready to make a drag strip run attempt now. And like I said, I'll link it in the description, but if you guys just search Lakewood Driveshaft loop, you guys will see there's a bunch of universal ones that look identical to that, and that's all it is. And then all we did was went ahead and got some of this 1-inch square tubing. I believe it's 1 inch. We got about 48 inches of it, but there's a lot of excess, so you could probably get away with like 2 feet of it, because those bars are only like 11 inches going off memory. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any more questions on this drive shaft loop setup, be sure to ask me in the comments below. But this is an easy and cheap way to make yourself a drive shaft loop for your truck if you're on a budget like we are on this channel. Like I said, you would probably have to address that mid shaft if you've got a crew cab like I do, but we're gonna just go ahead, get through our one track day that we're trying to do, and then pull everything off and move on. If you guys like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It does help the channel and helps the video. Also, you guys, thanks again for the support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on that bell so you're notified of all the latest videos. Anyways, you guys, thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.